Hello. Okay. I'm not muted anymore. Thank you, host. Shall we start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Welcome to the Sanitation Camp Gathering, a project promoted by Research Institute for Humanity and Nature, Hokkaido University. This is a collaboration among Japan, Zambia, and Indonesia, hoping in the future we will have more countries joining. The purpose mainly, in a sense, is to increase youth awareness towards sanitation problem and hygiene. Basically, our thought is directed toward gaining environmental health in general. Here we are honored to have Head of Research Unit for Clean Technology from BRIN, National Research and Innovation Agency Indonesia, Dr. Ajeng Arumsari. She is sitting down among the students in the classroom with us. Also the principal of 16 high school in Kiaracondong, Ibu Dr. Randa Eha Julaiha, a Master of Education. Of course, we have Professor Taro Yamauchi, Dr. Ken Ushijima, Dr. Neni Sintawardani, and also our family from Zambia, Dr. Nyambe and friends. Please bear with me that I'm going to be the guide of this event, but my part is just to walk you through all the activities. The main sources of information, of course, the children from Zambia, Indonesia, and Furano, Japan, and also the experts from the 3 countries. Here, we will start with the opening remarks by Professor Taro Yamauchi, the principal investigator for research in sanitation value chain, a project under RIHN. For studies in Indonesia, they collaborated with our institution, the National Research Innovation Agency, and also not to forget that we also collaborated with Langa in Zambia. Professor Yamauchi.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Carolina, your kind introduction. Good morning and good afternoon. Can you hear me, everyone? Welcome to the first SaniCamp 2022. I'm Taro Yamauchi, the leader of Sanitation Value Chain Project from the Research Institute for Humanity and Nature, Japan. I'm glad to be here. Okay, こんにちは、皆さん。I'll speak first in English and then in Japanese. So in the meantime, please interpret in Indonesian language. Okay. はい、皆さん、こんにちは。サニキャンプ2022ようこそ。私は山内太郎と申します。京都にある総合地球環境学研究所のサニテーション価値連鎖というプロジェクトのリーダーをやっております。今日皆さんにお会いして嬉しいです。Well, today we have attendees from Bandung, Indonesia, Lusaka, Zambia, and Minami Furano, Japan, Hokkaido. First, we have 3 lectures. Then we will move on to our today's main event, which is a presentation and discussion session by students from each country. In here, students will talk about their findings of water, sanitation, and hygiene in their communities. はい、今日はインドネシアのバンドン、そして、ザンビアの首都ルサカ、そして、南フラの皆さんですね、から集まっております。で、はじめに、この後、私の挨拶の後に3つのレクチャーがあります。そしてその次に、今日のメインイベントであります、それぞれの国の、皆さんからプレゼント、ディスカッションを行ってもらいます。水と、サニテーションと ハイジーン、衛生に関する、プレゼンテーション、ディスカッション、とても楽しみにしています。Okay, I hope everyone will enjoy today. Thank you. 皆さんが今日一日楽しんでもらうことを、願っています。ありがとうございました。Thank you. May I continue to my first lecture?
Sure.
Okay, let's move on to my lecture directly. Okay. Okay. Hello again, I'm Taro Yamauchi. I will talk about 3 topics today. First, the current trend in global sanitation. Second is about ongoing project. Then I will highlight the 3 research sites, Indonesia, Zambia, and Japan. Finally, I will give a brief summary to conclude. 今日は3つのお話をします。はじめに、サニテーションの世界的な状況について簡単に説明して、次に先ほど申しました、京都の研究所でやっているプロジェクトのお話、そして3番目が今日のメインイベントですね。3つの、インドネシア、ザンビア、日本についてお話します。最後に、簡単にまとめます。In the world, 2.3 billion people, around 1/3 of world population, are still using unimproved sanitation facilities in 2015. Furthermore, 700 million people practiced open defecation in 2017. はい、世界では23億人もの人、これは今現在地球は世界は78億人と言われてますから、約3分の1に当たりますけれども、いまだにちゃんとした整っていないトイレ、サニテーションを使っている2015年において。でさらに7億人もの人々、非常に多くの人々が野外排泄ですね、トイレを使ってなく外で、排泄するということを行っていることが分かっています。In many parts of the world, sanitation has become a serious challenge. For example, in Japan, depopulation and aging are progressing, especially in rural areas. Local governments do not have enough capacity to maintain and replace infrastructure, such as sewerage systems. はい、世界は途上国だけじゃなくて、日本においても、サニテーションの問題は実はあるんですね。例えば、人口減少、そして高齢化が進んでいます。特に、農村地域。地方行政ですね。地方自治体はもう十分な、経済的な余裕がありません。人口が少ないので税金収入も少ない。そういうことでもう老朽化した下水管などのインフラを、取り替えることがなかなか難しくなってきます。I'm sure you all have heard of SDGs by the United Nations. How many goals do we have? Do you know? Yes, we have 17 goals. Among them, SDG 6, good sanitation and hygiene, have crucial and positive effects for many other goals. はい、皆さんね、聞いたことあると思いますけれども、国際連合が SDGs という目標を立てています。17個あるんですね。そのうちの一つ、目標6、SDG6、これが、安全な水とトイレを世界中にというもので、これは水だけじゃなくて、そこに書いてあります他の目標にも大きな影響を与えています。Based on what I mentioned previously, the key question is, how can we handle the waste from 10 billion people in the future? In fact, we have already an answer for this. はい、今の背景によりますと、問題は将来、2050年ですね。今から30年後に地球人口は最大100億人になると、今78億人言われてますけど、じゃあ100億人の私たちの排泄物をどう処理したらいいのかという問題になります。しかし、大筋の見通しは立っています。Okay, this figure shows the future sanitation options by WHO. The horizontal line shows time flow. Now we are in the left and moved to the future in the right. We expected that open defecation will gradually be ended, dark brown at the bottom. Also, when you look at the top, storage system in blue 10% now is expected to increase up to 50% in the future. However, the current centralized sanitation system, storage system is needed to be transformed into decentralized one. はい、ちょっと難しいですけれども、これが WHO の将来のサニテーションシステムの、選択肢、予想ですね。で、横軸、これ時間の流れ、概念的な時間の流れですね。で、現在一番左端に見ると思ってください。一番下見ると、茶色いオープンデフィケーション、野外排泄がどんどん減っていってなくなると。で、一番上見ると、ブルーのところですね。今 10% ぐらいですね。これが下水道システム。これが将来的に一番右に行くと約半分ぐらい。これは WHO の期待を込めた予想だと思いますが、世界の半分が下水道になるということですね。ただしその時には今のような中央に集中して下水管で資源を集めて一箇所でやるという仕組みではなく、自立分散型と言われてますけれども、小さなシステムですね、を分散的に配置することが求められています。ちょっと難しいですけれどね。Well, when you look at the mid-right, you can see dark green and light green below the blue, which are the non-sewerage system. Specifically, the dark green one is the pit latrine that can be emptied, which is commonly practiced in urban and rural areas in developing countries. For people living in very remote areas and so-called indigenous societies without toilets, non-emptied pit latrine could be an option. はい。今度右の、ブルーの下を見てください。濃い緑と薄い緑がありますけれども、これが2つ合わせて非下水道ですね。下水を使えない仕組みです。穴を掘って、そこに用を足す仕組みです。で、上の黒い方、これはもともと今すごい少ないですけれども、どんどん増えて 40%、50% 近く期待しているのが、これが汲み取り式です。で、皆さん知らないと思いますが、日本も私は子供の頃は東京生まれですけれども、汲み取りがあったんですね。バキュームカーが来て、汲み取っていました。で、そして、それで済むわけではいかなくて、その下の薄いグリーン、緑ですね。ここは汲み取らないトイレですね。っていうのは穴を掘って、全部埋まってきたら、今度は次の別の場所に行って穴を掘ってやると。そういうトイレはどうしても必要になってくるんですね。例えば本当に過疎地であったり、いわゆる先住民社会というところですね。移動生活をしている狩猟採集民などはそうなります。そこにはそういった汲み取らないトイレというものも選択肢になっています。自然が非常に豊かで人口が少ないので、自然の力で上手に、排泄物が処理できるので、安全ですと。そういうことです。Okay, now I'd like to talk about our ongoing project briefly. では、プロジェクトの説明をします。As I mentioned, we can easily imagine future sanitation system around the world, but we need to keep in mind that without consideration of each local situation, such as socio-cultural, political, and economic aspects, sanitation system will not work. So we need to think carefully about our second key question, that is, how can we build a sanitation system that is tailored to each local community and how we implement it? はい、さっき見てきたように、マクロ、世界で大きく見れば、大体サニテーションの未来っていうのは分かっているんですけれども、それじゃ済まないんですね。それぞれの地域社会において、サニテーションの問題というのは非常に複雑に、例えば文化だったり、社会的、あるいは経済、政治の問題、いろんな問題がそれぞれの地域社会で異なっています。サニテーションっていうのは、それらと密接に関わっているわけですね。なので、しっかりそこを考えていかないといけません。したがって、この2番目の、仕組み、クエスチョンというものが必要になってきます。Okay, here are our main study sites in the world. As you can see, Ishikari, Japan, Indonesia, Zambia, and Burkina Faso and Cameroon. We set both discipline-based team and field-based team, such as Indonesia, Japan, Zambia, Burkina Faso, and Cameroon. はい、これはチーム構成ですけれども、研究者はそれぞれ専門分野がありますので、専門分野に沿った4つの チーム、そして専門分野を超えた各フィールドごとのチームですね。フィールドチームの組織って、縦糸と横糸みたいな感じで、こう重ね合って、チームを作っています。Okay, now I show you the pictures of sanitation facilities in each field. On the left top, Indonesia, people have toilets in the house, but human waste directly goes into a river or ditches. はい、これからフィールドのちょっと写真を見ていますけれども、まず左上、インドネシアは家の中にトイレはありますけれども、隣の写真見て分かりますように、排水ですね、排泄物が未処理のまま、家の外に出されているという状況になります。Right next to Indonesia, in Zambia, public toilets are made of concrete, but sadly, they are left broken. Toilet in the picture below is flooded in the rainy season. はい、お隣にザンビアって書いてありますけれども、立派なトイレがね、公衆トイレがコンクリート作りのがあるんですけれども、壊されたまま、壊れてそのままに放置されています。またその下の図は、雨が多いシーズン、雨季になると、このようにトイレが水に浸かったままになっているという状況です。At the left bottom in Cameroon, semi-settled hunter-gatherers do not have a toilet. In contrast, settled farmers have a simple pit latrine, as you can see in the picture. 左下ですね。これはカメルーン、狩猟採集社会をやっていますけれども、対象としていますが、彼らは移動生活をしているのでトイレ持っていません。しかし最近定住化しつつあって、右のような本当に穴を掘って木を乗せただけのシンプルなトイレを作っています。In Hokkaido, Japan, this picture shows a water source managed by the local community. はい、北海道の下にありますけれども、これはトイレではなくて、地元のコミュニティがずっと維持管理している水源の図です。In Burkina Faso on the right hand, we found a well-equipped pit latrine made by the local NGO. 右側にブルキナファソってありますけれども、これも中、パイプが入っていたり、トイレの穴の横に灰が置いてあったりとかしても、お手本のようなトイレなんですね。NGO によって作られたものです。Now let's move on to a short introduction of our activities at each field site. First, Indonesia. We conducted research in a crowded area of Bandung. はい、はじめにこれから見ていきますけれども、インドネシアはこのバンドン、首都ジャカルタからほど近いバンドン市でやってますね。右上のようにかなり密集して住んでいます。This flowchart shows a resource-oriented sanitation value chain. The compost moves from toilet at the primary school to the garbage station, and lastly to the farmland. はい、小学校に消えたトイレ、これはちょっと写真が違うんですけれども、トイレ、コンポストトイレで集めたコンポストは下のコレクター、こういう人たちによって運ばれて、ミドルステーション、これはゴミ収集所ですね。そしてトラックに乗っけて、右上のファーマー、畑に行くんですが、これちょっと絵が違うんですけど、実際はバラとか花を栽培して、それを売るような仕組みになっています。We did a survey at the garbage station. We aim to look at the sanitation of people working there, such as their working environment, health, life history, work values, and so on. 先ほどのミドルステーションのところでね、ゴミ仕分け人がしてるんですけど、見てわかる通り、何もマスクも手袋も長靴も履いてませんね。素手でやっているという状況があります。We collaborated with local people, such as making a short movie in Indonesian language and making a toilet paper. はい、地元のいろんな人を巻き込むときに、左の写真でタブレットを持っていますけれども、ここで、インドネシア語で作ったアニメーションを、ね、見せたり、右にはトイレットペーパーを広げている状況なんですけれども、トイレットペーパーの中にサニテーションの価値連鎖、バリューチェーンの説明が書いてあるわけですね。こういうのを見せて、お話しして協力してもらうということをやりました。Our partner, BRIN, National Research and Innovation Agency, manufactured composting toilets for primary school children. As you can see, blue one is for boys and pink for girls. We placed these toilets at the school. Many local media came to the event and introduced our activities to the public. through internet. 私たち、今日もね、いらっしゃっていますけど、BRIN っていうインドネシアの、研究所がこの右上のコンポストトイレを作ったわけですね。で、ブルーが男子用、ピンクが女子用になっています。で、左下のように中におがくずみたいなのが入っていて、私たちの排泄物が攪拌されてコンポストになります。で、子どもたちが乗っかったりしていますね。Okay, next is Zambia. 次、ザンビア行きます。We selected two areas, including 4 youth centers, 2 primary schools, and 2 health centers. はい、ザンビアでは、都市の、人口が多いところですね。先ほどとインドネシアと同じように、そこで、2つの地域を対象としました。We involved local children and youth. They had lessons and trainings for data collection. We did a group work focusing on hand washing practices, waste disposal, drinking water, toilet use, understanding contamination routes. Through this active learning process, the participants, children and youth, were able to recognize challenges in their community. はい、子どもクラブをザンビアでは作って、アクションリサーチ、子どもたちが自身が調査をすることをやりました。でもいきなり調査しろって言っても無理ですよね。初めにいろんな知識を学ばなきゃいけないんですけれども、上から下の今私が喋っているような、こういう講義形式ではなくて、グループワーク、ね、アクティブラーニングってよく言われてますけれども、そういう感じで楽しくいろんなことを学びました。Okay, now I show you some works they did. The question was, what are the sanitation challenges in your community? はい、それでは子どもたちの調査の成果をお見せします。フォトボイス、写真とそれに対するメッセージですね。で、カメラをちょっと扱えない小さな子どもは絵を描いてもらいました。These are the photos taken by children and they wrote messages for each photo. はい、これらが彼らが実際に撮った写真で、ゴミだったり、あるいはトイレ、あるいは水汲み場の様子が写真が撮られました。Younger children drew pictures. 先ほど言いましたけれども、小さな子どもたちは絵を描きました。Okay. So finally, I will introduce a case study in Japan. 最後に日本の皆さんのね、活動について簡単にご紹介したいと思います。We aimed to create an infrastructure management system in Hokkaido, Japan. We worked with high school students and the Water Management Association.We did 2 activities such as mapping of the underground pipelines and water quality analysis. Students made maps of pipeline networks which have been kept in the elderly, such as chief of the association. The maps they made are variable and useful for water maintenance, which also can be used by experts and the local government.It was good to see high school students and adults go beyond generations and work together. はい、皆さんの活動なので分かると思いますけれども、大きく2つですね。水利用管理組合の方々と一緒に山を歩いて、パイプライン、管路網ですね、の地図を作りました。GPS とかタブレットを使っていますね。で、右が北大の工学部の実験室で水質調査を行いました。Okay, we are now doing water quality analysis and pipeline mapping in other areas. どんどん他のエリアでもやっています。Well, let me finish with a brief summary. 最後にまとめます。First, sanitation is a global issue to be addressed. Most importantly, people have to think of sanitation as their own issue and act more proactively on it.すみません、2つになっちゃいましたけれども、第1番目にサニテーションは解決されるべき世界の課題であるということですね。2番目には一番大切なのは、人々がサニテーションを自分ごと、我がごとと自分自身、当事者意識を持つことですね。そして積極的に活動することです。At the same time, we researchers have to remember 2 things. First, sanitation is deeply rooted in local communities.And hence, it needs to be co-created with local people. はい。同時に私たち研究者は2つのことに注意しなきゃいけません。1つ目は、サニテーションっていうのは、先ほど申しましたけど、地元、ローカルコミュニティに非常に深く根付いているわけですね。したがって、研究者や 行政、NGO、外の人たちが押し付けるんじゃなくて、地元の人たちと一緒に競争を共に作っていかなきゃいけないということですね。Second, in order to sustain the locally built sanitation system, children and youth, that is the next generation, play a significant part. で、こうやって作ったサニテーションの仕組みを、持続可能にするためには、皆さんですね、若い人たち、次世代ですね、次世代の若い皆さんが非常に重要であると、重要な役割を担っているということになります。Okay, thank you for your attention. ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Professor Yamauchi, for your incredible presentation, opening our eyes, opening our mind about how huge sanitation problem is. It's a global issue, and interestingly, you underline the words, it is, even though it is a global issue, it is our own issue. From the world, I think we should move to Indonesia. We invite Dr. Neni Sintawardani to present her findings. Dr. Neni Sintawardani, as you all probably know, is a senior researcher from National Research and Innovation Agency Indonesia, BRIN. More specifically, she is from Research Unit for Clean Technology, who has been so keen working with sanitation for ages, I think. So Dr. Neni, without further ado. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Good morning for our participants in Zambia, and good late afternoon or in the evening.
Sorry, Neni-san.
Right. Sorry. Okay, I already unmute.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I cannot see mine. Where is my camera? So that is okay. Good morning for the participant in Zambia, in Lusaka. Good late afternoon for participants in Japan, and okay, now it's good noon here in Indonesia. So thank you. I would like to talk about sanitation and the alternative technologies. So as Professor Yamauchi already told you about how important sanitation is. Why I could not? Okay. So we should keep in mind that sanitation is how to keep the places clean and healthy. So when we talk about sanitation, normally we talk about the situation in our house. So in every houses we have toilet, we have a bathroom or more than 2 bathrooms maybe, and we have a washroom, we have kitchen, and we have a garbage as a product from our activities. For those all to keep all our houses situation clean and healthy, we need clean water supply. Whether this is from the state water supply company, or maybe from your own backyard using the using the wells. So you need a piping to transport the clean water to your houses. And for those reasons, you need water fee. You have to pay for the water for the state company, for example, and you have to pay for the electricity to keep your water from the wells coming to your bathroom, for example. And after all the activities in your house, you have to transport your waste, the wastewater, to the other part. You don't want to keep it, so you need a septic tank, for example, to collect all your waste from the toilet. And you need a piping system maybe to transport the other wastewater to the drainage system. So you need the garbage collector to collect all your garbage, and all of the facilities you need to pay for this. This is a cost again. So now you can see here an example from the drainage system in Bandung area. This is where the school here, now the school participant live. So this is the situation a couple of years ago, the drainage system. And here is a very common bath, wash and toilet common room. It is a public room. You can see here the wells is not very clean, and the facility of clean water, they need to filter all the water to consume for their consumption every day. So now let's focus on the feces, urine, and garbage, because this is our daily production. In the world or globally, we divide the community or the people into groups, yeah, or two paradigm. One group is just the business as usual group. They always think about the negative thing, about the negative product of your own activities. All the feces, urine, and garbage is dirty things. It will burden the environment, and they have no value at all sometimes. So, and for those, we have to dispose as soon as possible. We have to get rid of it as soon as possible. And it's not my business. We can pay it, for example. So it will need transportation. Again, this will be a cost, a huge cost sometimes. It needs space to dump everything in an area, and etc. But the other groups now, and I hope this is the motor is in the young people now, is the sustainability paradigm, the positive thinking. They said the feces, urine, garbage, everything is a valuable product. Okay. You have to translate directly. Okay. Okay. Okay, again, and this is the positive thinking about the value of the product, about the nutrition and the energy content. I try to translate it in bahasa Indonesia, ya. Jadi ada dua grup sekarang di dunia, grup yang business as usual, yang satu grup yang berkelanjutan. Grup yang business as usual selalu mengatakan BAB, BAK, sampah itu semua adalah barang kotor, saya nggak mau tahu, itu bukan urusan saya. Maka itu harus semua disingkirkan. Nah, untuk menyingkirkan butuh biaya, ya kan? Karena untuk tukang sampah dan sebagainya. Grup yang kedua, ini grup yang berpikir mengenai hal yang sangat berkelanjutan, bahwa feces, urin, dan garbage itu semua adalah sumber daya yang bisa dimanfaatkan, punya harga, punya nilai energi, punya nilai nutrisi. Ya, maka kita harus efisien menggunakan semua itu sebagai bahan sumber bahan baku juga, ya. Maka we have to treat from the positive thinking, we have to treat everything with 5R. So we can use for recovery, reduce, reuse, repair, and recycle. That's the common in economic circular now. It will need commitment, discipline, full consciousness that we are all in the same boat named planet Earth. So, jadi kita dengan berpikir secara berkelanjutan, kita harus menggunakan prinsip dasar semua itu recycle, reduce, reuse. Kalian sudah tahu semua ya. Nah, untuk itu kita butuh komitmen. Kita butuh disiplin. Kalau kita mau merecycle, kita disiplin membuang sampah pada tempatnya, membuang sampah pada tempat yang sudah terpisahkan. Karena kita berkesadaran penuh bahwa planet ini adalah milik bersama. Kapalnya sama kita semua. satu tenggelam, yang lain juga akan tenggelam. Ya, okay. This is the principle of circular economy. You can see here about the reuse, how to reduce the usage of raw material. To recover, how can we gain the material back to the process, and we can recycle the material and we can reduce it. So this is an example of our study, the daily water usage in Kiaracondong area. This is in Bandung, in this area where the students here from Indonesia living. The total consumption per person per day, it's about 90 liter. Jadi konsumsi kalian di sini dari hasil studi kami 10 tahun yang lalu rata-rata adalah 90 liter saja per orang per hari. It's from the activity is from bath, from clothes washing, from kitchen tools washing, cooking activities, plant spraying, urinate, and defecate. Jadi kegiatannya dari mandi, siram-siram, pakai air untuk di dapur, kegiatan makan minum, kemudian untuk BAB dan BAK. And here we have found that just for urinate and defecate, it need about 40% from the whole water consumption. Jadi hanya untuk BAB, BAK kalian butuh 40%. Sia-sia sebetulnya itu kan, hanya untuk menyiram, flushing, ya. Jadi dan sebagian besar ini berakhirnya kemana? Ke sungai terdekat. So 50% more all the wastewater will be flow to the river nearby. So here is we can see here in the world, what is the water consumption in the world, and we can only say that the water consumption for the countries that is rich, is prosperous, the more wasteful water usage. So, but in fact, the total available water doesn't increase at all. So it will be so unfair, ya. Karena ternyata negara maju makin kaya menggunakan airnya kan makin jor-joran dibanding negara miskin. Itu kan tidak adil. Negara miskin sudah miskin, pakai airnya makin sedikit. Jadi bagaimana bisa sehat? Ya. Okay, this is one more example from our study together with our colleagues from Japan about the feces and urine that could be produced in the small area in Kiaracondong. This the Kiaracondong area is very high populated area, with about 6 kilometer square kilometer only, but have a population of about 130,000. Ya, Kiaracondong itu kira-kira 6 km persegi, tapi punya 130 ribuan orang penduduk. Jadi cukup padat. So if we calculate about the feces production, it's per person per day, it's about 120 gram. And the urine is about 160 gram per person per urinate. So we can calculate it's about 15 ton feces will be produced per day in Kiaracondong only, and about 160 ton urine per day will be produced in this area. Tuh, kalian bisa membayangkan itu? Sekian ton, 150 ton tuh BAB, 160 ton BAK yang akan diproduksi di wilayah Kiaracondong saja. Itu semua punya nilai ternyata. So if we can recover the nitrogen, the phosphate, or the kalium from
di Kiaracondong. Nah, jumlah segitu itu harga nitrogen tuh kalau kita per kilogram.
Neni-san, sorry,
Kira-kira setengah liter.
Ibu Neni, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, she's missing. She's still sitting right beside me, but you wanna exchange? Mau tukar ini?
Okay, I'm okay. Already in?
Belum.
Not yet?
Belum.
Terpental.
Ya, terpental.
Oke, kalian ibu yang ingin memberikan penelitian kepada kalian. BAB dan BAK itu mengandung nitrogen, fosfat, kalium, bukan main. Itu semua bahan yang kita sebut kalau orang beli harus beli pupuk, itu harganya mahal. Nah, kalau itu bisa kita peroleh dari itu sendiri kembali ke sekeliling kita, maka kita tidak akan berkurang.
We are very sorry. There is a technical problem in Neni's computer, and we're trying to fix the problem. Please be patient and forgive us for this inconvenience. Sudah?
Itu ya udah jalan dulu.
Okay, kameranya nggak bisa nggak apa-apa. Okay, I'm in again. Now I have to share. All right. Where's my
Share.
share? Okay. 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 Oh, I will. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry because I have somebody have not somebody, the system have kicked me off. Okay, I just want to show you all that the feces and urine have so much nutrition that we can recover, and that will be money, a lot of money we can produce if we can recover this. So one solution is we can develop technology to gain or regain all the nutrition material from the feces and urine, for example. So we develop the composting toilet technologies. Here you can see in the right side, this is for small family, about 5 person in a house, they can use this, and they can mix the feces with the sawdust using a manual system. And here the blue box you can see here, this is actually a toilet for 14% people per day, and we can mix all the garbage, the feces, the urine together with the sawdust using the pedal. So here anak-anak, ini adalah teknologi toilet pengompos yang kita kembangkan. Ada yang versi rada mewah untuk satu rumah. Semua digerakkan nanti dengan pedal. Sebetulnya yang satu dengan pedal, yang satu dengan tangan kayak engkol gitu. Ya, ini prinsipnya adalah kotak yang diisi serbuk gergaji. Nah, serbuk gergaji yang akan menangkap feses dan urin, BAB dan BAK. Karena sifat permukaan fisiknya, akan tumbuh bakteri di situ dan mendegradasi feses dan urin menjadi CO2 dan H2O. Ya. Ini lihat, so you can see here the mixing of the urine and feces in the sawdust in the composting toilet. You cannot see anymore the dirt there. So here is the result. After a couple of months, we can get a compost-like material that like the soil. This is the darker one, and we can use it for planting the plants. Ya. Ini yang sudah kita kembangkan, kita pasang di Kiaracondong untuk 10 keluarga. Ya, kita bermacam-macam produk sudah kita buat nanti kita ini. So this is all the modified composting toilet that we have made. And the last is about urine diverted. So we use the sitting here to separate the urine and the feces. This is for the garden, for example, in the public garden, to collect the waste from pets, for example. So this is the urine diverted system composting toilet. This is in the school that Professor Yamauchi already showed you. And this is the conclusion: to things globally, but act locally and now. So using the technology like the dry toilet technology, we can reuse, recycle all the material. Jadi dari WC kita ke composting toilet itu dikomposkan, kemudian kembali ke tanaman. Kita untuk menanam sesuatu, tanamannya kita makan, kembalikan kita ke WC, akan berputar seperti itu, ya. So the challenge is do what you can do and now. Hatur nuhun, terima kasih, arigato, thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Neni Sintawardani, for the brief presentation of how technology actually can solve the problem of sanitation. Mudah-mudahan adik-adik semua yang mendengarkan di sini bisa mulai memahami betapa pentingnya masalah sanitasi ini. Professor Yamauchi actually mentioned bahwa billions of people itu harus kita pikirkan masalah sanitasinya. And one thing that I underline from Professor Yamauchi's presentation is that he reminds us that the main presenters of this particular gathering are actually the young students from 3 countries, Indonesia, Japan, and Zambia. For further introduction, we invite Dr. Ken Ushijima to provide more information about the groups. Dr. Ken Ushijima is a senior research manager from Northern Regional Building Research Institute, Hokkaido. And Pak Ken knows deeply about Kiaracondong Bandung. Probably he is more well informed about Bandung sanitation problem than many of us, the residents of Bandung ourselves. Jadi kita tidak bisa membohongi Dr. Ken Ushijima ini, Bapak Ibu, guru dan adik-adik semua. Dr. Ken ini ahli Kiaracondong expert. However, at this particular moment, Dr. Ken Ushijima will introduce our young speakers to us all.
Can I start?
Yeah,
Thank you.
please Ken-san.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Ken Ushijima. From me, just briefly, I'd like to introduce the attendees, three groups. ここからは、簡単に参加している3つの高校と団体の紹介をしたい。And today, we have today we have three attendees from Japan, Furano High School, Hokkaido, Japan, and SMAN 16 from Bandung, Indonesia, and Dziko Langa. This is not high school, but youth, children and youth group from Lusaka, Zambia. 3つのグループ学校と団体から参加してもらっていて、フラノ高校、日本から、あとはインドネシアのバンドン、スマン16っていう名前の高校です。あとはジコランガっていうのは高校じゃないんですけども、子どもと若者が集まっていろんなアクティビティをやる。さっき山内先生の発表にも出てきたグループです。これはザンビアから。OK。First, I'd like to introduce Furano, about Furano. Furano is located in Hokkaido, and it is almost center of Hokkaido Island. This is northern part of Japan. So, and Furano is agricultural area, so they have very nice viewing. And in winter now, it's very heavy snowing. フラノは北海道にありますね、当然です。フラノ、大体真ん中ぐらいにあるというので、へそって言われたりしてます。で、農業地帯で皆さんご存知の通り、非常に美しい景色がある。で、冬は雪がすごいというところを話します。And Furano has also very good water source. And フラノは非常にいい水源を持っています。And the problem in Furano is the population decrease. So now the population of Furano city is 23,000, and it's keep decreasing. 素晴らしい、その通りです。Okay. And Furano High School is a public high school of Hokkaido. The students are coming from Furano City and surrounding cities. This school has about 500 students, and the participants today is the students of science club. They have some experience to prize and also field work. フラノ高校は、これは皆さん分かってますね。北海道立の高校で、フラノとフラノ周辺のから通ってます。500人弱ですかね、正確には、はい、ぐらいの生徒さんで、今日は科学部の生徒が参加してくれてます。Okay, next is Indonesia. Already the name of Kiaracondong is mentioned by Professor Yamauchi and Ibu Neni. Kiaracondong is the very crowded area in Bandung City, like this. And I already mentioned that one of the big problems about sanitation is some of toilets are directly connected to the river. キアラチョンドンの名前さっきから出てますけども、非常にこう、ゴミゴミした地域です。住宅が密集して。 で、さっきも出てましたけども、一つの大きな問題は、水洗トイレがそのまま川につながって処理しないで出てる。About SMAN 16, this is a state high school located in Babakansari, Kiaracondong. The students are mostly coming from the area of Kiaracondong. This school has about 1,200 students, very big high school. The participated students today are from the second grade. So I checked their website and they have already experienced 2 times workshop with BRIN, right? SMAN 16っていうのがインドネシアのそのキアラチョンドンのババカンサリという地区にある高校です。で、これも州立高校ですね。それで、大体キアラチョンドンから通っている人たちで、生徒数は1200結構で、今日参加しているのは2年生だそうです。で、彼らはもうすでにそのインドネシアの研究所と2回ほどサニテーションのワークショップを去年末と今年の頭ぐらいにやってるみたいです。Okay, the last one is the Zambia. Their field is 2 areas, the Chawama and Kanyama in Lusaka. You know, Zambia is here and Lusaka is here. So population of Lusaka city is about 2,800,000, a very big city. And Chawama and Kanyama is located the fringe of the urban area of Lusaka city, like this. ザンビアのフィールドは茶湾とカニャマの2つなんですけども、ルサカ自体はこんだけの人口で非常に大きい町です。ちょっと写真いいのがなかったんですけど、普通にビルとか建ってます。で、ただこのフィールドになっているカニャマと茶湾はその都市のその外縁っていうか外側に都市が広がっていく縁のところなんですね。で、スラム地区になりやすいような場所です。Okay, Dziko Langa is already introduced by Professor Yamauchi. So Dziko Langa is children and youth group in 2 areas of surrounding Lusaka, the capital of Zambia. The member consists of mainly 10 to 14 age children and 18 to 24 age youth. And they have already done many activities related to the sanitation, and they also joined a very big event such as Zawafe, Zambia International, Zambia Water Festival and Exhibition. 自己ランガというのが先ほど山内先生のご発表にもありましたけど、子どもと若者の組織で、大体10歳から14歳ぐらいの子どもと18歳から24歳の若者を中心にでかなりもういろんな活動をされていて、水と衛生に関わる活動をしていて、ザワフェっていう、国際的な大きいイベントにも参加したりしています。Okay, this is just brief introduction about attendee. Thank you very much. これが簡単な紹介でした。
Thank you, Dr. Ken Ushijima. And without further ado, we come to our main presenters who are children of the world. I think the first presenters would be Furano High School, Japan. We have information listed here from Dr. Ushijima that the presenter will be Miss Moe Ieri. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Miss Ai Kikuchi, Miss Ryo Murakami, Mr. Mirai Oshugi. So Indonesia and Zambia, please welcome Japan. This is a very good chance for us to learn about each other's effort in tackling sanitation problem.
if Carolina, can
Yeah.
we start or taking break? Just
Oh,
start.
it's okay. You need to you need a few minutes to prepare.
あ、大丈夫。聞こえる。Okay, okay, we can start.
Whenever you are ready.
Okay.
Whenever you are
okay.
ready.
Just a moment, just a moment.
Sure.
Can you see our slide?
Yeah. Clear.
Okay.
Crystal clear. Ken.
じゃあ、first, student will talk and I will translate.
Sure. Sure. The students will present in Japanese.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
じゃあこれから富良野高校科学部のおいしい水を求めての発表を始めます。
Okay, we will present about the sustaining of good taste water from Science Club from High School.
では初めに研究の背景について話していこうと思います。
First of all, we'll show the background of our study.
現在、地域自立管理型の小規模水道には管理図などの情報の管理が関係者の記憶に頼る部分が多いこと。
Nowadays, we are focusing on the community managed water supply system, and the issue, one of the issue of them are the sorry. One of the issue is the information about their asset, such as a pipeline, is only in the manager's memory.
そしてそれが世代交代によって徐々に失われつつあること。また、インフラ維持が困難になってきているにもかかわらず、地域自立管理型水道の実態については、市町村を含め誰も知らないため、議論がほとんどされていないこと。
Because the information is only in the memory, it is difficult to give to the next generation, and the real situation about this kind of community managed water, many people don't know the real situation, and almost no discussion was done until now.
今日の課題があると知り、私たち高校生に何かできることはないかと考え、小規模水道について研究することにしました。
So we thought that what can we do for this situation as a high school student? Then we choose this topic.
そして、29年西暦。じゃあ平成29年度から、同窓研北海道大学と、地域自立型インフラマネジメントおよび地域ぐるみの水資源管理システムの実証試験を開始しました。
Then we have started the collaborative study with Hokkaido Research Organization and Hokkaido University from 2017.
毎年それは年に1回報告会を行っております。
Then, as shown in this slide, we are continuing, we are doing annual report event every year from 2017 until now.
そして今年の研究の目的は昨年度と同様に小規模水道に関連した富良野市周辺の水質の安全性とおいしい水の関係を調べるというものです。
And the topic of this year is also on the context of this study, and we checked the safetiness of their water and the environmental water.
次に調査地点です。今年は南六号と西六号の水質を調査しました。
これ使いました。もう一個。あ、いいです。This year's our sampling point is two sites. One is Minami 6号 and the next second is Nishi 6号。
これは今回の調査地点の南六号を地図で、青い丸が塩水を採取したところです。
This is a map of the Minami 6号 site. The blue point is the sampling point of the source water.
これは西六号の地図です。黄色い丸が潜水地点です。
This is the map of Nishi 6号. The yellow points are the sampling point.
これは採水調査の時の様子です。
This is the pictures of the sampling activity.
方法です。どうぞ以下のものを示しました。
Next is the analysis method. What the equipment we use is like this.
吸光度計とは反応したパックテストの水の色を吸光度で数値化する道具です。これにより資料を複製で確認するよりもさらに細かくデータを取ることができます。
We use the spectrophotometer, and the spectrophotometer is the converting color change of pack test to the numerical value. So we can check the data precisely.
酸体窒素、アンマニア体窒素、リン酸体リン、原高度、pH は吸光度計を用いて数値化し調べました。
We use the spectrophotometer to measure the NH3N and NH4N and P4P and pH and COD.
パックテストの実験方法です。採取した水を分け、それぞれのパックテストに水を入れ、反応させます。反応した水をマイクロチューブに移し、吸光度計で計測します。
This is a method of pack test and spectrophotometer. First, taking sample water and sucking sample water into the pack test. Then they move reactive water into the microtube and set it into the spectrophotometer.
次にドロップテストの方法です。付属の計量カップに水を 10ml ずつ取り、指示薬を加え攪拌させます。
Next is the method of drop test for free carbon dioxide. First, taking 10 ml of sample water to cup, then dropping reagent and mix it.
2種類の適定薬をそれぞれ 10ml 適化し、攪拌させます。終点まで点火した適定薬の適数を式に入れ、測定値を算出します。
Drop the reagent and counting the drop until color change has stopped. Then it will be entered into the formula below. Then we obtain the value.
大腸菌群の検査方法です。綿菌ボトルから 1ml に調節したマイクロピペットで水を取り乾燥培地に入れます。
Next is the method for the coliform and the E. coli count. First, taking 1 ml of sample water by micropipette, then pour it into dry agar.
そしてインキュベーターで1日間売薬します。1日後に培地の赤い点と青い点をカウントします。
And incubating it 24 hours, and after that, counting the colonies, the blue colony and red colony.
この時、青い点を大腸菌、赤い点を大腸菌群とします。カウントし終わった培地をオートクレープバッグに入れ、後でまとめて処理します。
The blue colony is counted as E. coli and red colony is counted as coliform. Then the used agar must be stored in autoclave bag and later sterilized and disposed. These are the results of the NH4N. Regarding the NH4N, the concentration is very low in the all samples. Regarding the NO3N, the water quality standard as the potable water is 10 milligram per liter. So all the data shows the very low concentration compared to the standard. Regarding the PO4P, except for the spring water, all the sample was lower than the detected level. Water quality standard and good taste water of TH is from 0 to 100, then all the sample is in this range.
pH は南6号原水、南6号オルゴールは汽水、南6号オルゴール河川、6号では 5.8 から 8.8 で、それも15歳以内でした。
Water quality standard as potable water of pH is from 5.8 to 8.6. So we measured pH only in the water source and spring water and small river and tap in Nishirokugo, but all are ranged in this water quality standard.
炭酸の基準は 20mg 毎リットル以下ですが、南6号オルゴール規制が基準値よりも多い検出されました。
According to the water quality standard as good taste water, free carbon dioxide must be lower than 20. In our results, only the spring water over this standard.
検出されないことです。大腸菌は南6号オルゴール河川と西6号原水が検出されました。
Water quality standard as potable water about E. coli count is not detected, and only the small river in Minami Rokugo and water source of Nishi Rokugo was detected.
大腸菌群の基準もされないことですが、南6号オルゴール河川、西6号原水、西6号が処理されました。
Regarding the coliform count, also the water quality standard is not detected, but the small river in Minami Rokugo and water source and treated water in Nishi Rokugo, we observed the coliform.
こちらの表は、おいしい水の基準と今回の調査で採取した水の性質を比較したものです。基準を満たしているものは必ず記入されています。
This table shows that evaluation as good taste water and safe water, and the red character shows that means that it satisfies the standard.
続いては考察です。飲料水として用いられている水からは大腸菌および大腸菌群は検出されず安全であることが確認できました。
This is discussion of the results. First of all, we could confirm that the all analyzed drinking water was safe in terms of detection of E. coli and coliform.
西6号処理水から大腸菌群が検出されましたが、西6号蛇口から検出されなかったことを踏まえると、誤って処理前の水を採取してしまったか、実験汚染が起きてしまった可能性が考えられています。
In Nishi 6号, we detected coliform from treated water, but not from tap. Possible cause, we took treated water sample before chlorine addition, or sample was contaminated while analysis process.
そして南6号オルゴールド湧き水において、リン酸体リン、全硬度、有利炭酸が高く検出されたことには以下の点が考えられています。そして、リン酸体リンは土壌から溶出したため、全硬度は地下で溶出したミネラルが多く含まれているため、そして最後に有利炭酸は地下での有機物の分解により二酸化炭素が発生したためと考えられています。
In Minami 6号 spring water, relatively high values were observed in PO4P, TH, and free carbon dioxide. Possible reasons regarding PO4P, it was provided from soil. Regarding TH, minerals in groundwater was provided. Regarding the free carbon dioxide, it was provided by CO2 from degraded organic matter in groundwater.
次にまとめです。南6号蛇口、西6号蛇口からは大腸菌群が検出されなかったことが確認できたので、飲み水として適切であると考えられます。
This is summary. First, both water supply system, Minami 6号 and Nishi 6号 are providing safe water as potable water.
先ほどのおいしい水の基準と結果をまとめた表から考えると、南6号原水、南6号蛇口、西6号蛇口の水は全硬度、有利炭酸、COD、大腸菌群の基準を満たしているので、安全でおいしい水であると考えられます。
Both water of Minami 6号 and Nishi 6号 are satisfied standard of good taste water. Thus, the water of Minami 6号 and Nishi 6号 water supply system are safe and good taste water.
最後に今後の展望です。今回の実験は計測回数が少なく、コンタミネーションが起きてしまった可能性があります。この反省を生かし、次回は実験の回数を増やして正確なデータを取れるようにしたいと思います。
For the future plan, this time we didn't have enough repeating time, and also the contamination may occur. So from the next time, we want to increase the repeating time and also the precise operation.
また、pH メーターの故障や実験方法の把握漏れなど、事前の確認不足な点がいくつかあったため、事前準備をしっかり行うことに気をつけたいです。
Furthermore, the pH meter was not working well, or we didn't check the analysis method. So, and like that. So from the next time, we want to prepare before analyzing.
今回の参考文献はこちらの3つになります。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
The reference is like this. Sorry, only in Japanese. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Excellent. I think this is a great example of how the education system makes children becoming more aware toward own environment. This is the principle of integrating children to the cosmos, integrating ourselves, becoming part of the cosmos, and to create a citizen which is who are responsible for our own welfare and our own prosperity. After Furano, we want to have a 5 minutes break and giving time for, especially for the students, to absorb all the information given by the resource person, Professor Yamauchi, Dr. Neni, and also from Furano High. In case you have questions, write it down in the chat or give it to your supervisor or whatever, send it to us while having 5 minute breaks. We will see you again 5 minutes from right now. Here in Indonesia, it's 14:22. So we'll see you again in 14:27. Thank you.
27.
Hello? Hello, Zambia. We cannot hear you.
Hello, you can get me now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Susan Mwelwa, and I'm going to continue the presentation from where Ablam stopped. So for me, I'm going to start on what is photo voice. Photo voice is sharing this using photograph and art. So in this photo voice and art, we normally do it equally for the kids and for the youths. For the kids, what they normally do is art mainly. So they normally make art with experiences from their surrounding or from their own. So from the drawings is from the own Duarte. This drawing is showing a kid, Kawe. He would draw a drawing from Chawama constituency, Chawama Primary School in particular. Is a kid Chawama. He drew the surrounding from where he is coming from. Nelly. Unexpected error. Nextly is a drawing from Kanyama. This is the child who draw from their environment, their community where they stay from. And then nextly is almost blocking toilet of a youth. It's a youth who took that photo, telling a story, trying to narrate. You can narrate from the story and from the picture you can see to say, this picture of the toilet was about to get down, but people were normally dumping garbages in there.
It's not showing.
So these are some of the infrastructures that the youths in Kanyama and Chawama normally take to show out to the people to say, people normally dump garbages anyhow. This, as you can see, this is a toilet from Kanyama constituency. People have just built the toilet with sacks and some clothes. Actually, outside, if you can see, they even have dumped some bin outside the toilet, which is not clear and clean for everyone to use. Not even safe. This one is a dumped place where people normally use to go and urinate from there. So it's making an air pollution to the nearby surroundings. And so these are some of the pictures that Dziko Langa youths from both Kanyama and Chawama are to go through and take from the communities that we normally live in and the communities that we are taking some activities in. So talking about activities, Dziko Langa have engaged themselves in different activities from the time that we started. So mentioning the few of the activities, we have taken part in the cleanups. These are the Dziko Langa youths taking part in the cleanup at the clinic. This we normally call it a community cleanups. We normally took time to make sure that let's see how our clinics are looking. We make sure that we clean the clinics, and it's on a voluntary rate of Dziko Langa youths to go and clean. Nevertheless, apart from the community cleanups, we took time to do the national cleanups. In Zambia, we had what we call Keep Zambia Clean campaign. That was for the nation. Dziko Langa at time had made their particular time to take part in the cleanup in Keep Zambia Clean campaign, of which it was a success. At least a lot of people came on board as well as take part in sensitization. So what do I say if I say sensitization? It's not only sensitization at the cleanup. Dziko Langa has particularly taken full time to do a door-to-door sensitization. So as youths of Dziko Langa want to see Zambia to be a clean, green nation. So this is what is our main focus, to make sure that every household is not left out, but take part to have the knowledge about good sanitation in their communities, in their homes, in their working place, in their schools. That's the reason why mainly we are working with children, school-going children in our areas, to make sure that they grow up with the knowledge of good sanitation and healthy. Nevertheless, Dziko Langa have taken part in different events in Zawake, youth forum workshops, our own workshops that we organize at the community-based level, where we normally call out youths from different organizations, from the youth-friendly corner, the guys that are normally found at the clinics, the youths from our communities. We invite friends to come together and speak and preach about health living in our communities. From there, that's where I end my talk, but I would like to pass it to my paid presenter, please.
It's good morning, Zambia. Good afternoon, Japan and Indonesia. This is Daniel presenting from Dziko Langa. So my presentation is on the identification of gaps in WASH. So my first question is, what are the gaps identified in WASH? And these are some of the major gaps that we as Dziko Langa Zambia we've noticed. One of them is poor road network system. When we talk of poor road network system, garbages are not collected, or they don't collect them at all. Then secondly is low quality sanitation infrastructure and facilities. Infrastructure and facilities, these include the toilets, like my previous presenter had to show you on the share screen. Then we've got drainages. People, they just dump some garbages in the drainages, which blocks the water to pass and other things. Then thirdly is poor waste disposal practice. You know, when we talk of behavior change, you talk about changing the mindset of people in terms of sanitation, to say so, sanitation. So we're trying to sensitize people. They should have that mentality of keeping their garbages properly. Thirdly is limited access to clean and safe water. When you talk of that, of course, I agree that everyone has an access to water, but not all of them have access to safe water. Number 5, broken hand washing, sanitation, and public and toilets. So there are some tanks that are set in most of the community public schools, which let me show you some photos so that you be clear of what I'm talking about. So this is, like I said, a poor dumping, and this is a clinic area where they are dumping, and these things are hazardous because you can see the yellow plastics which represent hazardous. This is illegally dumped because this is just unfinished building. People are trying to build, and then they just started dumping because with few legal dump sites. Same applies to this. It's a building. As you can see, there's a block they're trying to build, and this is now the poor waste disposal practice in the communities. Lack of knowledge about recycling of household waste and human extracted. I talked of poor, clean, safe water. So this is, you see, this is a public tap where everyone is trying to take some water, and now it's flooded. Like now in the rain season, all the places are being flooded. So we've got that poor thing. This, like I said, on the last, the fifth point, saying we've got some tanks that are set on the public schools. Now these are broken, and as you can see, it's even dirty just from the way we're looking at. Then the causes of gaps, like from my previous presentation, causes of gaps now. This includes lack of regulation policies, rules that governs the environment when it comes to sanitation and health hygiene, so that people may live in a safe way. Thirdly, secondly, lack of access to sanitation and health information at community levels. So this is now, when we talk of sensitization, we talk of changing their behaviors now, disseminating information about hygiene and how to dispose some waste. Thirdly is lack of knowledge about recycling of plastics, human waste, glasses, and water recycling. So these are the problems that we are facing. When we talk of this knowledge, you have to now teach them how to do these things they collect. So if we can have like more participants, we are trying to make more participants so that we can make noise in the communities, so that we can change everyone's mind to start keeping their waste properly, so that it can be recycled, like the causes of gaps. Thank you. I would like now to open up the discussion. Thank you. This is Daniel Enchumba. Please, if there is some questions, please, we are here, we can respond.
Yeah. Thank you, Zambia, for your excellent presentation. Yes, we will have discussion. We will have discussion, but I think we will finish the presentation first. We will invite Fauzan Maulana from Indonesia to present his group's research, and then we will allocate time for the discussion. Again, I invite all participants to address any questions for all the resource persons, including students from Furano High School and Dziko, Langa, Zambia. However, we will accommodate the discussion time after presentation from Indonesia. So Fauzan Maulana from 16 High School, the opportunity is yours to present your findings.
Okay, hello everyone. Is my mic on? Test.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the.
Your voice is clear.
Yes. Okay. Hello everyone. It's nice to see all of you. Allow me to introduce myself. Feedback. Okay, I'm sorry. Hello everyone, it's nice to see all of you. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Fauzan Maulana. I'm a student at Senior High School 16. And today I would like to present to you about our sanitation in our country, Indonesia, based on what we live and what we observe. Slowly, so I can. Okay, our location is in Indonesia, Java Island, Java, Bandung City, and more precisely located in the vicinity of our school, Kiaracondong. And here are the picture of our school. The left one is the picture of front of building of our school, and the right one is the field that we used to do exercise court. And yes, it's located in Kiaracondong, Bandung City. And now let me introduce my fellow friends. These are the people behind this project of our observation about sanitation in our country. And I'm so proud of these brilliant and wonderful boys and girls who made all of this possible. And let's move on. After observing our environment, we can conclude several things, which is environmental pollution, sanitation, air pollution, dirty waste, garbage management. So let's not take further ado. Let's discuss the first one, which is environmental pollution. Here are the river condition in our area, which is Ciduan River, Antapani, Bandung, East Java. As you can see in the picture, there are household and industrial waste in the Ciduan River. There are trash lying around and floating in the river, making the water is dirty and the river dirty. And in the same river, sometimes the river is used as a place for children to swim. And as we all know, this can cause several diseases, such as skin irritation, or maybe a diarrhea, or maybe stomach ache, because it's caused by the polluted water and the trash around the river. And here are the garbage conditions in our area. We have found that in our area, there are two things in garbage condition, which is not sorted and sorted. As you can see, in the sorted one, the garbage is sorted by its type, which is organic and non-organic. But usually in our area or in our country, we did not sort our garbage. And there are garbage collection, which is done 2 times a week by garbage collector. And here are the public restroom that we found in our area, which is poorly maintained. As you can see in the picture, there are moss, and the area in the public restroom is dirty. And here the condition of groundwater with a depth of 40 to 50 meters, as you can see. But usually in our area, we use shallow groundwater. And here are the picture of before and after. Before, the water is clean, but after approximately 8 to 9 hours, the water turns turbid and it smells like an iron. And let's move on to point number 2, which is sanitation. As you can see in the picture, there are community or people who implement gotong royong, or in English, mutual cooperation, gotong royong in our country is like people working together to maintain and preserving environmental and making the environment is clean and good. And then here are one of the example of clean environmental condition. And here are the example of dirty environmental condition, because as you can see in the picture, there are plastic garbage that's scattered around the area. And now we talk about clean water availability. There are two types, which is water to drink and water for daily activities. For drink, we have to buy bottled water for approximately 2,000 to 5,000 or 20,000 rupiah, because we have to buy our drink water. And in dry picture, for daily activities, we use groundwater to shower, to clean our cars and maybe a motorcycle and many more. And point number 3 about air pollution. Here are the example of picture burning garbage around resident homes and in school environment too. As you can see in the picture, it causing smokes and make air pollution and makes us hard to breathe. And point number 4 about dirty waste. Here are the example of small river, which is, as you can see in the picture, there are dirt and mud because of the rain. And the water is turned kind of brownish, and there are many dirt and mud in the water. And in the same river, in Chidurian River, here are the condition of the river, and it's dirty and causes an unpleasant smell from factory and household waste. And as you can see in the picture too, there are white bubbles floating in the river. And point number 5 about garbage management. Here are the places, or we call temporary garbage disposal, which is located in Bina Harapan and Sukapura. As you can see in the picture, the place is dirty and the garbage is piled and scattered around the place. As you can see too, the garbage is not sorted by its type. But we do find the temporary garbage disposal area that use or implement garbage sorting. As you can see in the picture, the garbage is sorted by its type, which is non-organic and organic. But usually this condition or garbage sorting is rarely found in the area of our searching or our observation. And here the unique one about garbage recycling. As you can see in the picture, organic waste or household waste is used to produce larva maggot. But what is maggots, larva maggots? Maggots are the larvae of flies. These grubs are commonly found in the rotting items such as carrion, damaged fruit, or vegetables. And the maggots are used to feed animals or poultry. And here are the picture of garbage sorting in our school. As you can see, students are care about the environment and throw the garbage into the dumpster by its type, which is organic and inorganic. But sometimes we do find some students that still litter recklessly. So about student attitude, after we observe, there are still many students at Senior High School 16 Bandung who do not care about the environment. And there are still many students who litter recklessly. But however, there are still some students who care about the environment, and they usually invite and remind other friends to care about the environment. And we have a Clean Friday program is carried out by the school with the aim of building a sense of environmental care for each student. And our wishes, we do hope that we, as students, we can be more concerned and contribute in maintaining and preserving environmental sanitation around us, can invite and be a motivator to the community on the importance of protecting the environment. And together, let's improve sanitation in our environment. because good sanitation boosts our motivation. Now, I'm gonna present to you guys about video that we made. One sec. I'm gonna share it to you guys. Okay. Here are the video that we made about sanitation in our area, which is our environment where we live. Udah kelihatan ya? Okay, let's start. Yes, this is sanitary at our home, which is bedroom and toilet in our home. As you can see, the situation is pretty clean, and this is the condition of clean water that we use for daily activities. And we store them in the water container. There are some sand that we used to, and this is the condition of drinking water that we usually have to buy for around, or it costs about 5,000 to 20,000 rupiah. And this is the garbage condition in our location or in our area. As you can see, there are separated between this type, organic and inorganic, and they are not separated too, because usually we don't separate our garbage. And this is the condition of our ditch. As you can see, it's not really clean because it's black and smell not good. The smell is not good. And this is the condition of our river. As you can see, there are so many garbage lying in the river, and it causing an unpleasant smell. And the water is not clean, or as you can say, is dirty. And the color is kind of not clean. And this is the condition of the street in our area, Sari. She is clean and is safe and sounds. But sometimes there are area that we found is not clean, and many trash scattered around. And this is sanitation condition in our school. As you can see, this is the toilet that students use in our school, that they urinate, and the bathroom. And this is the ceremony and basketball court in our school. We used to do exercise court when we do. And then this is the garbage can. They are separated in two types. This is the class condition. It's the classroom. And as you can see, it's rather clean. And this is the gazebo where we learn our time in out class. And so that's it from Indonesia. Thank you very much for your attention. Terima kasih. Hatur nuhun, arigato.
Thank you very much, Fauzan Maulana, for excellent presentation. Take a deep breath for 1 minute. Now we still have time before ending this particular session, which Professor Yamauchi said that the main program, the main activity, which is presentation from 3 groups of researchers from Indonesia, Zambia, and Japan. We have 20 or 30 minutes for discussion. Anyone would like to ask questions, you can raise hands and speak directly to us, ask directly to whoever you want to communicate with, or write it down on the chat room. However, from the chat room, we have a few questions. First is from, is it Novianti? Questions for Ibu Neni. When Ibu Neni is speaking about the toilet, the technology of handling urine and feces, which you declare is an environmental friendly technique because it doesn't need water to flush. But is it smelly? Ibu Neni, you want to answer that question? It's a simple question, but you probably could elaborate it more scientifically.
Yeah, thank you. That's a beautiful question that I would like actually to show you a film about our toilet, but it's not I didn't get my file. But it's I could explain to you that this kind of toilet is something like a box, and we fill the box with the sawdust, gergajian kayu, yeah. And using those material, the material can absorb the water and the bad smell to their surface area and help the microbes live between the material itself and dip into the pores of the material to eat all the dirt, the feces or the urine, and then degrade it to CO2 gas and HO2 water, and the rest there will be the mineral. So so that is an aerobic process from our own natural microbes or bacteria. I hope I can answer that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Neni. I think that answer is also accommodate the question from Kemal Satrio. He asked he asked you about how challenging it is to implement the dry composting toilet. But there is one question from him. How about the energy source for composting toilet operation? What is the energy source for the composting toilet operation? And where will the compost go? How are we going to use the compost? Maybe that's the question.
Okay. Oh, the what?
How are you going to use the compost?
Oh, okay. For using the compost, of course, as we have, I think Ken-san is already, no, Yamauchi sensei have a picture of the farmers around in Lembang. Lembang is in the north part from Bandung area, where people normally the farmer vegetable farmers and gardener, like flowers farmer in this area, and they are willing to use it instead of using the chemicals fertilizer. They want to use it as organic fertilizer. So that's or we can use it directly at home. So I use it in my own house. I use it for planting my flowers using the compost from the toilet or from the garbage kitchen.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, Dr. Ken Ushijima, would you like to add more explanation for these questions? Because that relates to your work also in Kiaracondong, right?
Yes, the Ibu Neni already explained, or I think.
Okay. 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 And there's a question for friends in Furano High School. Is there any follow-up research based on the previous research about good taste water? Maybe the wider questions is there any follow-up by, for example, the local government after they presented the result of the research on their own environment? So Furano High School.
Sorry, I didn't catch the point. Could you repeat again?
Yeah. Novianti, would you like to say it directly to Dr. Ken Ushijima?
Okay.
Would you like to explain directly to Novianti?
Okay, thank you for, can you hear me?
Yeah, clearly.
My question is, talking about, the result of the research done by Furano High School. The result is the water research in the area is eventually and actually a good taste water. So is there any other research that will be followed up by the team of the researcher from the Furano High School, or even the follow-up from the government of the Japan itself? Is there anything that you or the government do responded to the result of the research?
Okay, first let me translate to the students.
Sure, Dr. Ken.
この水の調査をやったんだけども、でその結果は、政府とか他のチームが、もう調査しフォローしているのかとか、あとは、ここで取った調査っていうのはなんかその行政に使われてるのかとか、多分そういう。
要は政府がこれを知ってるかとですね。
多分状況としては
知らない。
そうですね、知らない。で、知られていない水道なので、僕たちがやりましたことだった。まあいいや、答えましょう。
では発表今言っていいんですか？
今いいです。はい。じゃあ、OK、one of our students will try to answer.
Sure, please.
Japanese first.
最初のこの私たちの発表でも言ったと思うんですけれども、管路図とかのその情報は管理者の記憶に頼る部分が多くて、多分政府もそれらの情報を知らないと思います。
As mentioned in our presentation, the government also don't know the situation about this kind of water system. And okay. Yes, so the situation is like that. And some additional information from me, our research results is actually being in use in Furano local government.
Okay.
Especially the not the water quality analysis, but the water pipe network information. The Furano local government is.
Okay.
Is this?
That's the good news. Yeah. Jadi, yeah, I think our friends here have already translated into Indonesian. So all set. That's a good news. How even how school students play a great part in creating concern of the local government toward their own community. This is, I think, very inspiring and should be an example for others to do the same thing. Other questions? From Bapak Martin Meridian, how to handle about the problem in Japanese? You know that in Indonesia, so many people than Japanese. Pak Martin bisa mengelaborasi pertanyaan ini. Halo? Bapak Martin Meridian? think we're missing him. Yeah. Is there any other questions? Maybe the students can interact with each other rather than through me. You can raise hands, click reaction with the happy face, and there is an emoticon of raise hands. Then I will invite you to speak directly to whoever you want to talk to Professor Yamauchi, to Dr. Neni Sintawardani, or to your own friends in Furano High School, in Dziko, Langa, or Senior High School. Go ahead. Furano High School, raise hands. Okay. Go ahead, Furano High School.
Thank you.
You can speak directly to whoever you want to talk to. It doesn't have through me.
ザンビアとインドネシアのどちらにも関わることなんですけど、そのザンビアとインドネシアの国の政府は、さっきもこちらも似たような質問したので、こちらもちょっと疑問に思って聞くんですけど、そのザンビアとインドネシアの政府は、今このプレゼンテーションで述べてもらった、その状況を政府はどの程度知っていて、でどのような対策を取ってくれているのかっていうのをぜひしてたら教えてもらいたいです。
Okay, the question is both to the Zambia and Indonesia. This question is that the information you presented, I mean the situation is how much known by the government, and what kind of countermeasure or action by government has already done. If you know something, please answer.
Okay. Zambia, Furano High School ask questions to you and to Indonesia. Please, Zambia, would you like to respond? Dr. Nyambe, Kellison, Abraham, Justin.
Oh, guys in Zambia who would like to speak? I can see you, Susan, but I don't know if you want to talk. Okay, please, you can respond to their question.
Okay, speaking in behalf of the Zambian government, as Dziko Langa, we have already started visiting offices for the government, civil servants, offices for the government that deals with health and sanitation at the ground. We have at least managed to talk to the clinics near our communities to see to reach to say everyone that comes at the clinic, they have the idea about sanitation. Going up to the government offices and big offices, we are adding to that to make sure that the government of Zambia should get involved in these sanitation issues, because a clean nation is a developed nation. Thank you.
So the government gave a very positive response to whatever Dziko Langa initiative presented, right? That's a good news. Now, Indonesia, you have questions from Furano High School? Bagaimana? Apakah pemerintah Anyone would like to answer the questions from Furano High School?
Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya. Izinkan saya, Talita, menjawab pertanyaan tersebut. Langsung jawab. Menurut saya, pemerintah itu sudah sangat tahu ya mengenai hal tersebut. Karena seperti yang kita tahu, tidak hanya di satu tempat hal tersebut terjadi gitu, di banyak tempat ya di Indonesia sendiri. Maka dari itu, dari pengamatan saya sendiri, pemerintah itu sudah melakukan menetapkan beberapa peraturan seperti kepada pabrik-pabrik itu biasanya ada regulasi kayak pengamatan gitu kalau nggak salah tentang limbah pabrik itu diolah atau enggak gitu. Tapi mungkin karena pabrik itu terlalu banyak dan nggak bisa satu-satu terus diawasi, jadi masih banyak aja gitu yang ngebuang seenaknya gitu ke mana aja. Terus kalau misalnya untuk sampah sendiri, ya karena seperti yang kita tahu, sebenarnya pemerintah itu dari dulu udah banyak sekali menghimbau kepada Indonesia, kepada warga Indonesia, kalau misalnya kita itu harus mereduce penggunaan sampah plastik. Tetapi karena orang Indonesia ini masih sangat banyak populasinya, jadi nggak bisa dilihat satu-satu gitu. Dan masih banyak aja karena kurang ketatnya juga peraturan di Indonesia ini yang melanggar hal tersebut. Seperti itu yang saya tahu. Mohon maaf bila ada salah kata. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Translated. Thank you, Talita. So I try to translate it to English. So as long as Talita has already observed, the government has some regulation to control and to reduce the pollution in the wastewater. But because of the small-scale industries, it's very, it's so many. Sometimes the control is not enough. So it's still some industries just release or throwing their polluted wastewater to the open river, for example. And for the garbage, they have a regulation. Even the local government of Bandung have a strict regulation to reduce the usage of plastic bag. In every shops, we have to pay more to have a plastic bags. And actually, this is an it's
effort.
That's an effort from the government to reduce the plastic garbage. But sometimes the consumer itself is undisciplined. They still needed to have plastic bags. That's Talita has already observed. Thank you, Talita.
Thank you, Ibu Neni, for translating it for us. Bayu from Indonesia, you have a questions. Can you just say it directly? Oh, before going to Bayu, is friends from Furano High School quite satisfied with the response from Zambia and Indonesia? Is there any follow-up questions?
追加で質問ないですか？
はい、大丈夫です。質問ありがとうございます。
Okay,
Okay.
understand. Thank you very much.
Okay, we will continue then. Yeah, I'd like to invite Bayu. Go ahead, Bayu. This is the time for you to interact with your friends. Ada pertanyaan. You have a question for Zambia, right? Bisa.
Yes, right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Bayu Guntur. I'm from Indonesia.
Unmute, please.
Jadi tadi teh tadi udah dijelasin dari presentasi Zambia itu ada lima masalah yang berada di Zambia yang sudah. Jadi 5 masalah itu bagaimana cara penanggulangannya gitu.
This is a question for Dziko Langa, Zambia. In your presentation, you listed 5 main problems related to the sanitation. Bayu asked how far Zambia take care of this problem. How do you take care of this problem? Bayu needs more explanation about that. I think in the presentation you actually provide some information to it. So friends from Zambia.
So hello, Zambia. Anyone there? Okay, so Susan, you'll speak, or you'll give to Kelly-san or Daniel, or how will you?
Okay, over that question, with Zambia, we don't have equipment for recycling or proper equipment for sorting. As a result, we have all the garbages, biodegradable garbages, hazardous, they are all collected at one place. So if we can have the second hand of helping equipment for separation and recycling, that can help up. And then create or provide more dumping sites. That's now the government to create more dumping sites so that all the garbages that are being dumped at unfinished buildings on the road sites can be collected and be dumped at the dump site. So equipment for sorting and recycling, if we can have them from the support from anyone, I think we can engage a lot of people to venture into recycling. As a result, waste will be limited. Biodegradable waste will be made into manure and will be supplied to the farmers. I think that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. Ya, for Bayu, kira-kira yang Zambia lakukan adalah memperbaiki banyak sekali infrastruktur agar supaya mereka bisa melakukan pembuangan sampah secara sustainable seperti recycle dan juga sampai memproduksi sampah untuk dibentuk menjadi manure. Manure itu pupuk. Kemudian juga mereka mengupayakan agar pemerintah mensponsori mereka untuk membuat lebih banyak lagi dumping sites. Jadi kelihatannya Dziko Langa banyak bekerja sama dengan pemerintah dan apa yang sudah dilakukan tuh luar biasa. Jadi collecting the garbage, kemudian juga creating atau making more dumping sites and then work together with the local government. Kira-kira seperti itu, Bayu. Thank you, Susan from Zambia. Talita, you want to ask to your friend directly? Your friends in Japan? Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. As you know, from the presentation that has been shown, we can conclude that sanitation in Japan is good, right? How can Japan have a good sanitation practice? Are there still some people who don't apply it? If so, what is usually done to follow up? Thank you.
from Japan. Sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't catch the latter part because of the connection. Sorry, could you repeat again?
Okay. Okay, I can do that. So my question is, how can Japan have a good sanitation practice? Are there still some people who don't apply it? If so, what is usually done to follow up?
Regarding this point, maybe we should answer, right? Okay. In Japan, the Japan has a very well-designed social system supporting the sanitation hardware. So roughly speaking, in Japan, the sewerage system and independent treatment system, Jokaso. And so these two types are major system in Japan. And Japanese government have, of course, supporting law system, and also many organizations technically support and financially support, something like that. Is this right answer to you?
We have to take a break for 1 more minute. There is an azan in the mosque. I'm sorry. So again, Miss Talita, are you satisfied with the response? Talita?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry, but I didn't really hear it. So I'm sorry, but can you repeat it?
Okay. In Japan, mainly as a hardware, we have two types of technology. One is the sewerage system, and another is named Jokaso. This is different from septic tank, more high technology, but we can apply to each houses. So in rural area, we use that system. Then the key point, I think, the Japanese government have law to each the sewerage and also the Jokaso. And also we have some organization to support their maintenance or their installation. So that kind of social system is very well designed in Japan, I think. So that's one of the key points in Japanese system.
Yeah.
From the other.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any reward and punishment, Dr. Ushijima, for those who goes against the law? This is, I think, will be good information for the children to hear.
I'm not sure the exact punishment, but how to say? These laws are strictly applied to all in the society. But regarding the JOCASO, I mean the individual management system, some don't follow exactly the rule. I mean the maintenance period or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see. Thank you, Dr. Ushijima. I see Dziko Langa raise their hand. I see Dziko Langa raise their hand. Is that Dr. Nyambe? Or Kelly-san, or
Maybe Kellison. Kellison, you have a question?
Yes, please. I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Kelly-san.
My question is, what are the implementive measures taken by the Japanese government on the dry toilets?
Yes, Kelly-san. Hello, Kelly-san.
I was saying, what are the implementive measures taken by the Japanese government on the dry toilets that we just saw in the presentation area? I don't really know which who was the presenter. Was it from Indonesia or Japan? But the presentation was had something concerning the dry toilets. So my question is, what are the implementive measures taken by the government concerning the dry toilets? Thank you.
Maybe I should answer, right?
Sure.
Yes. Unfortunately, in Japan, let's say, first of all, the dry toilet is not so major system in Japan. Actually, we have that technology, and some are applied, especially in the remote area. For example, the wildlife center or mountainous area. And also we are using for the aged person who is difficult to go to toilet. So the one of the small compost toilet looks like furniture. It is possible to set in the aged person's room. But the not so major system. So the other Japanese government, I think they don't have the definite law or supporting system, but of course they know that technology, and they also understand this is a good available technology for the disaster time period or international collaboration. So that's my understanding in Japanese system, Japanese current situation.
Thank you, Dr. Ushijima. From Indonesia, is there anyone who'd like to respond to Kellison's questions about dry toilet?
Yeah. I think
sure.
Thank you. In Indonesia, the idea to implement dry toilet or composting toilet is still in the community only. It's not to the government. And I think we try to seduce the community to use it first. And then when they really willing to use it, that will be easier to approach the government and to make it as their policy. So that's our strategy. Thank you.
For the high school students, SMA 16, do you have any information on the dry toilet implementation? Anyone who has information on the dry toilet implementation in Indonesia, You probably could share it with your friends in Zambia. Ada yang mau share informasi atau statement atau komentar? Boleh, bahasa Indonesia juga tidak apa-apa. Tentang dry toilet. Mungkin dari teman-teman yang berada di other room. Teman-teman SMA 16 yang ada di ruangan lain pun silahkan kalau ada yang mau bertanya atau berkomentar. Fadel, go ahead. So anyone? Silahkan. Silahkan Fadel.
Bahasa Indonesia nggak apa-apa.
Ya, pendapatnya tentang itu Bu dry toilet. Kalau menurut saya tentang dry toilet udah bagus itu apa inovasinya, tapi itu kan bakal jadi tantangan sendiri gitu Bu, dari yang asalnya masyarakat tuh sering pakai air gitu. Terus jadi kering. Nah, jadi bakalan pasti susah gitu Bu. Itu sih kalau kata aku mah inovasinya mah udah bagus gitu. Sudah, gitu aja Bu.
Fadel from Senior High School 16 give comments to Kellison's questions about dry toilet. He thinks it's a good technology, but difficult to be implemented since most people are so used in using water for the toilet matters. That's a small addition to Kellison. Kellison, are you satisfied with this response?
At least, but I still have an addition to the Indonesian government.
Yeah, Indonesia is very diverse actually. And we have dry area also, which actually need the dry toilet implementation widely. It's still a challenge. Furano High School, you raise hands again.
Can I still ask?
Yeah, sure. Kellison, you want to follow up?
Yes, please. The question isn't there any conflict between the religion and this new technology of the dry toilets, which have been discovered by the researchers there in Indonesia? Thank you.
Oh, ya, Fadel yang menjawab tadi ya. Yeah, is there any conflict in religion? It is actually explained already that even in Indonesia is mostly Muslim, and in Muslim we are taught to use resources efficiently, and so in our case, when we are using toilet with so much flushed water, things like that, it's actually against the rule in religion. There will be no conflict in religion. I think this is a matter of culture, difficulties in accepting the right toilet. More to it, more to culture. And like composed based on fecal materials, it is well accepted. Okay.
Caroline-san,
Yeah.
I'll add something about this question.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we and the BRIN team have interviewed to the religious leader about this system. Then as a religious aspect, basically it's no problem. But as you mentioned, the cultural aspect is different issue. So not easy, but as a religious aspect, they said that it's no problem. Neni-san, if you have some addition, please.
Yeah, thank you. I have already in the chat room stated that for implementing such technology like dry toilet or composting toilet, the most problem is to the behavior and the culture of the community. So if like here in Bandung area, the people really easy to get water, and now they have to use water less than before. That's sometimes giving trouble, and that's influencing the acceptability of such technology. So as Ken-san already told us, behavior and culture, it's the factor that influencing the acceptability of such technology.
Yeah, in any technology actually. Yeah, 2 groups raise hands and 1 person, Gali Aditya, also would like to ask questions. Furano High School, do you have any questions? This is our last session, hopefully. It's 15:44 already.
Gali Aditya first.
Ini ada yang raise hand, Furano High School sama Dziko Langa, sebelum Gali.
Please.
Dr. Ushijima, is your students would like to ask questions? Because I see the hands waving there still.
Yes, we have a question. Can we ask? Okay, please.
今まで、水だとかトイレとかの環境の状況を話してくださったと思うんですけど、今私たちが発表された以外にも知らない事情を含めて、例えば各国からしてほしい支援だとかいうのは、身の回りにあったりしますか？
海外から。
はい。
Okay. You present both the Zambia and Indonesia presented many problem in the area. So do you have any idea to ask the cooperation or help from the overseas?
Well, that is a huge question. Who do you think could answer these questions from Zambia and Indonesia? What any idea to ask cooperation or support from other countries?
If you don't mind, we want to ask the students or youth.
Kalian ada ini nggak? Kira-kira kalian merasa ada persoalan kita yang kita harus tanyakan kerjasama atau bantuan dari luar negeri? Menurut kalian? Perlu nggak? Menurut kalian dalam hal sanitasi ini? Perlu di dalam hal apanya? Oke, please, salah satu bisa menjawab. Jadi kata kunci teknologi. Coba, siapa yang bisa? Aura. Oke.
Silakan menjawab dalam bahasa Indonesia.
Oke. Oke, sip. Langsung.
The friends from Furano, your friend from SMA 16 will answer your question.
Baik, perkenalkan nama saya Muhammad Didik dari Indonesia. Menurut saya sangat perlu dalam bidang teknologi karena di luar negeri kan mungkin ada beberapa yang teknologinya sudah maju gitu ya, dan Indonesia ini termasuk negara yang berkembang gitu. Beda sama Jepang yang negaranya udah maju gitu. Jadi kita juga membutuhkan teknologi dari negara lain untuk bantuan dalam hal sanitasi ini. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ada lagi yang menjawab? Oke, Aura, silakan.
Mungkin, perkenalkan nama saya Aura Natasha dari Indonesia. Mungkin beberapa teknologinya, contohnya dalam teknologi untuk mengolah air sama mengolah sampah kalau di Indonesia. Udah itu aja. Terima kasih.
Neni, you would like to? Okay. Your friends from senior high school 16 mentioned that cooperation and support from other countries, needed mostly on technology, since Indonesia need new knowledge and new reference on technology in terms of how to handle the sanitation problems. That's the essence of their answers.
Teknologi yang teruji.
Teruji itu apa bahasa?
Dan teknologi maju dan teruji yang diharapkan tadi.
Well tested technology, ready to be implemented. That's what they mentioned.
Especially in wastewater treatment and garbage.
Right. Especially in wastewater treatment. Is the same questions from Furano High School goes to Zambia also? Friends from Zambia, Carrison, Susan.
Zambia, yes, plans are
Justin or
there.
Abraham, yeah?
Yes.
Go ahead,
Are you
Justin.
getting me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thanks. From Zambia, plans are there of cooperation. For what we need mostly is technology transfer for us to come out from this problem of garbage and how to utilize the same garbage into a good thing. And also, as you are aware, Zambia, we are just coming from our previous government. Now we have a new government. And hence, new government also has plans, of which Dziko Langa is going to engage the new ministries that are created, because we have a Ministry of Environment and we have a Ministry of Small Industry for entrepreneurs. So this gives advantage to Dziko Langa youths. And it's for this reason that we need even cooperation from other countries who can come in and share knowledge, how we can come out from this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Your answer is very clear.
Dari Galih nanyain.
Yeah.
Itu tadi
friends from
Langa, bagus, pertanyaan yang bersama. Transfer teknologi itu terutama untuk menumbuhkan ekonomi. Jadi kalau bisa transfer teknologi yang bisa diproduksi di Indonesia, kata-kata itu jadi ada satu dorongan ekonomi kan di sini.
Next, let's entertain Galih Aditya, who wants to ask questions. I invite Gali. Oh, sudah ada. Oh, okay. 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 Gali, mau bicara langsung kah? Nggak bisa. Okay. Yeah. Gali questions. Yeah. Gali questions actually it's written in the chat room. He said, is it possible for any country to share their innovation and technology directly, facing the fact that economically, socially, and culturally probably Professor Yamauchi would like to answer that questions because the question is very broad. Professor Taro Yamauchi, are you still there? If I may...
Could you repeat again, please?
Yes, if I may restate his question. Is it possible for any country to share their innovation and technology directly, since we have different condition on economy, socio, and politics?
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. But in my understanding, particularly our world should shift from technology oriented to how can I say, behavior change or attitude or mental set. We need to change behavior. That's more important to have new sophisticated technologies. It's relatively easy to spread high technology to other areas, but it's very difficult to change mind. This is my answer. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Neni is explaining in Indonesian. Hopefully, Dr. Ushijima also translated in Japanese to his students in Furano High School.
Thank you very much.
You, Professor. Thank you,
Yes,
Professor Yamauchi.
Yes, I'd like to summarize. Sanitation is a culture.
Yeah.
Technology. This is, yes, my answer. Thank you.
Okay. It's 5 minutes toward 4 p.m. in Indonesia. I think we come to an end of our session. In my notes, we come to the last activity in our program, which is a closing statement and stating declaration, or I'm sorry, stating conclusion of our meetings. And that is going to be presented by Dr. Neni Sintawardani.
Okay, Professor Yamauchi, I would like to, I have squeezed and tried to make a conclusion from three country participation. Here I'd like to share my screen. So it's already there. Okay. So I hope so. Please, everybody, just study the draft now. I would like to call it as conclusion statements from the participants, especially from the students and teenagers. The first, as young people, we should involve actively to maintain the water and environment in our surroundings. This is especially from the Furano students. The second one, we should be more critical to get to know more about sanitation condition in our neighborhood. So be critical. The third, using our knowledge, we are trying to influence the community to get more attention to the environment, especially the sanitation in our place. This is from the Langa. And the fourth, we do have to be much more care to the environment with the consciousness that we live in the same boat, that is our earth. That's the whole conclusion. And the fifth, community self-movement, for example, the Clean Friday program in Bandung, must be more strengthened on building a sense of environmental care for its students. So here is more the conclusion from the Indonesian students, that it's not depending on the government, but more from their own. And the sixth, we can be more concerned and contribute in maintaining and preserving environmental sanitation around us. And together, let's improve sanitation in our own neighborhood or environment. And the seventh, this is from the student in Indonesia, good sanitation boosts our motivation. That's, I think, it's very beautiful statement. And the last, this is from Professor Yamauchi. Sanitation needs cultural approaches instead of just technologies. I don't know. So that's I tried to squeeze all what happened in during our 4 hours meeting. And can we say that it's a conclusion statement from all? Raise hand. Anybody? Professor Yamauchi?
Neni-san, please give us the time to translate.
Okay.
Thank you, Neni-san.
Sure.
Okay.
And could you scroll to the down, especially the latter part? Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Nomor 4 sampai 6 itu kesimpulan kalian. Sebagai generasi muda, kita harus terlibat secara aktif memelihara
Thank you. Translation is completed. So should we reaction something if agree or
Okay, if you have a new input or you have a correction, please.
I think a note from Zambia. When was it Callison or Justin mentioned about how the importance of technology transfer in relation to handling sanitation problem. Buat ditambahkan.
Ah, okay.
terutama tentang sanitasi di tempat kita sendiri. Kita harus lebih perhatian kepada lingkungan. Karena kita tinggal di satu yang tadi dijelaskan ini ya, kita tinggal di satu yang sama, di planet yang sama, itu planet bumi. Jadi kalau satu besar ya lain juga. Yang lain yang rusak. Dengan menjalankan apa yang kita
Iset, nomor 9 coba. Udah? Apa?
Apa ya? Kayak perubahan lewat Kayak program-program yang inovatif mandiri gitu ya, misalnya program Jumat Bersih gitu di Bandung, itu tuh harus lebih dikuatkan gitu dan diharapkan bisa menumbuhkan kita lebih care antara pelajar terhadap lingkungan kita.
Okay, any correction or more input from other countries? Ken-san, Yamauchi Sensei, please.
Can I, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
I think number 8 and number 9 should be.
It's
the order.
Yeah. Okay.
Technology is of course important, then, but also important as culture. That's all.
Is it?
Thank you, Ken-san. I also put a comment into chat box. It's the same meaning as Ken-san mentioned.
Okay. Yeah. So I just put to make it together the 8. Is it okay?
Memperbaiki kondisi sanitasi di banyak negara, tapi sanitasi itu memerlukan pendekatan budaya, jadi bukan hanya pendekatan teknologi. Jadi kalau cuma kamu kasih teknologi, kan tadi kan tentang teknologi, ternyata kita tuh udah punya kebiasaan sendiri, punya budaya sendiri, punya pola pikir sendiri ya, udah dibuat untuk menerima satu teknologi baru.
Okay. So should I put it more or? So, hello? So if you are all agree with this statement, we can close. This will be the statement of all the participants in the SaniCamp today. Professor Yamauchi, shall I close?
Yes, of course, please.
Meeting?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. So we have already a conclusion statement that maybe we can put it in the website after this meeting from the RIHN maybe. This is as the statement from the participants, especially the young people from 3 different countries. I think this is a very beautiful statement that hopefully this can inspire the other young people in the world, I hope. And I would like to say my thank you to all participants in Zambia, in Japan, and Indonesia, included the teacher here still in the other rooms, and 50 students in the other room that can only involving passively because of the facilities. And thank you very much to Ibu Carolina too for being a good moderator and MC. That's a wonderful statement, that the wonderful things that you have to do in this meeting. And thank you to everybody. And I hope we can see you again in the next meeting. And it could be as a good steps for the next. Thank you so much and keep safe and healthy. Goodbye. And make a group photo.
I think Dr. Cherry.
Okay, please open your mask.
Group photo.
Okay, so if Carolina, please say one, please.
Yes, Dr. Ikami. Kenapa? Why? What? Kenapa?
I don't know. Ikemi-san, what you want to say?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Make a group photo. Please say 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
3 times must be.
Okay, one more. 3, 2, 1. Okay, next,
Okay.
next page.
One more. Oh,
Yes. Okay. Page.
okay. Could you one more? One more time, please.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Last page. Last page. Okay.
Last page.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.